Welcome to YLC, the Young Leaders Committee that promotes and grows youth leadership that ensures the future leaders lead from today by educating and inspiring them to soar higher and higher.
You are welcome to the Young Leaders Committee. It is a leadership channel for growing and supporting leaders in all spheres of life. In our 20-month-long first series, we laid the foundations with the promise that subsequent series will be more practical. And this is the first session of the second series. We have a drawn-up curriculum for over 20 sessions. But we are willing to entertain some of your own topics, some of the issues you would want us to discuss. Please post such suggestions in the comment section or via our email as displayed on the screen. We want to look at something very important. The title of the second series. The second series is not very long. The theme of the second series is foundational leadership issues. Foundational leadership issues. And in this first session, we want to look at how to build an organization. How to build an organization. Because leadership takes place in organizations. And we're going to look at the concept of an organization. Look at the types, characteristics, and implications. We will also delve into what building an organization means, what building an organization entails and demands. We will also discuss the essence of building an organization. We will look at the foundation of solid organizations, organizations that can weather the storm, that can stay for long and produce exactly what is expected. Let's get the ball rolling. What is an organization? An organization is a social entity that is goal-oriented, most times structured, and managed to achieve specific objectives. We can also look at it as an administrative or functional structure. And that could mean a business company. It could be a political party. It could be a religious group. All of these are organizations. They are organizations of different types, having different characteristics, as we are going to see shortly. Now, organizations can be grouped into diverse categories. I want to present only two. Organizations can be classified as either profit-oriented or not profit-oriented. Profit, some people call it for profit, others call it for not for profit. What do we mean by this? Profit-based organizations are those businesses that aim to generate profits for their owners and shareholders. For example, Apple, Google, Amazon, schools, and other business ventures. Then, in the non-profit or not-for-profit category, we have entities that aim to serve social cause or promote a particular mission. Examples include the Red Cross, Doctors Without Borders, World Wildlife Fund, and so on. You may also choose to classify organizations under government or non-government. You can say organizations are government-owned, government initiatives, or non-governmental organizations. Government organizations are those entities established by governments to provide public services or to regulate industries. For example, we have NASA, we have the Federal Reserve, we have other government agencies. Then we have non-governmental organizations. They are sometimes called NGOs. These are entities with specific purposes and policies which are not owned or controlled by government. These non-governmental organizations are entities with specific purposes and policies, and they are not owned or controlled by government. They may be public, they may be private. They are not controlled by government. Then we have the peculiar one, which is called the hybrid organization. Hybrid organizations they combine elements of for-profit and not-profit. They combine the two sides which we discussed earlier. We call them hybrid. There may not be many, but they are there. Now let's go on to look at characteristics of different organizations and their implications. We have said organizations are social entities. That means a group of human beings, whether they are 3 or more, whether they are formally established or not formally established, whether they are for profit or non-for-profit, whether they are governmental or non-governmental, they are organizations. And they have characteristics. Organizations are diverse. They are diverse in nature, and so their characteristics are also different and diverse. However, we will put them in broad categories, at least so that we don't spend all the time looking at the nitty-gritty and the minute characteristics of these organizations. If you have any questions after this video, please send them via the comment section of this video or via our email. We may not be able to look at them all because that will be an inexhaustive list. Organizations exhibit unique characteristics, and these characteristics shape their culture. We will talk about organizational culture in this video. These characteristics affect their operations and even the outcomes, what they get, their output and their impact. Now we're going to look at them in 3 very broad categories: structural characteristics, cultural characteristics, and functional characteristics. Let's look at the structural characteristics. The structure of an organization may be hierarchical, may be flat, may be matrix, or may be networked. But whatever is the structure, it is likely to affect the communication that goes on within the organization and how the organization communicates or interacts with the outside. This characteristic will also affect the decision-making process of the organization and its accountability. The structural characteristics. Now, let's look at the cultural characteristics. These consist of values, norms, beliefs that shape employee behaviors. They also shape customer interactions as well as stakeholder relationships. There are different cultural characteristics that different organizations possess, but generally they have to do with values, norms, beliefs, and these affect and determine employee behaviors, customer interactions, and stakeholder relationships. Let's look at the 3rd set of characteristics: functional characteristics. This consists of production, service, innovation, or other functions that define an organization's purpose and activities. They define the organization's purpose and activities. These characteristics have significant implications. Implications for the organization, implication for the society, and implication for the general public. The nature, the purpose, and the characteristics of an organization matter a lot, and they determine many issues about the organization. The characteristics of an organization can have some of the following implications. Implications for employee engagement and motivation. It can be implication for customer satisfaction and loyalty, and implication for stakeholder relationships and reputation. Let's look at them very briefly. Implications for employee engagement and motivation. That means that organizational culture and structure can influence employee satisfaction, employee productivity, and employee retention. So the characteristic of an organization is very key. Number 2, implication. Implication for customer satisfaction and loyalty. This means that organizational characteristics can shape customer experiences, their perceptions, and their loyalty. And that's why we need to watch our characteristics. Then number 3, implications for stakeholder relationships and reputation. These tell us that organizational characteristics can influence stakeholder trust, support, and reputation. And that's very important and should be noted. Let's go further to look at what building an organization means, entails, and demands. We want to talk about building an organization. What does it mean to build an organization? What does it entail? What does it demand? Let's look at the first part. Building an organization means creating, establishing, and sustaining a social entity that achieves specific objectives. That involves creating a structured framework and process for achieving common goals. It encompasses planning, assigning tasks, and arranging individuals within a decision-making framework. Practically speaking, the process entails defining a vision and determining the mission. It also entails, practically speaking, developing a business plan. Whether you're a business outfit or not, you need to have a business plan. It will give you direction. It will serve as a guide. And then it also demands securing resources, building a team, and then you commence the organization. You kickstart. After you have put all this in place, the last is to take the step. Take a leap, and you will not fail. It's very true that the organization you build will reflect your person to a large extent. The organization you build will reflect part of your personality. And that's why you need to be very careful. And that means that you need to have or develop certain attributes for you to be able to build certain types of organizations. There are organizations you cannot build because your personality may not enable you to build such an organization. And therefore, you first have to work on yourself. And that takes us to the demands of building an organization. Among the required attributes and qualities of life, we want to mention just a few. 1, passion. You must have what drives you. And you must develop perseverance. This will sustain your interest and keep you going. You need to have strategic thinking and planning acumen, because this will direct what you eventually get. You need patience with diligence. I like to look at diligence as thorough hard work. And you need this if you intend to succeed. And we want to believe that behind your thought of building an organization is success, that there are goals you want to achieve. And then you also need creativity and ingenuity. This will make your organization unique, outstanding, and successful. So we'll go on to the next part, the essence of building an organization. You should be certain why you want to build an organization. Be specific. Why do I want to build an organization? Be clear about the goals and purposes. Do you want the organization for financial reasons, social reasons, environmental reasons, impact, or whatever? Be clear in your mind the goals and the purposes for this organization. Next to that is develop core values and principles. This will guide and shape the culture, the decisions you make, and the actions you take in the organization. So they are important. Then get into strategic planning and execution in order to achieve your objectives and create sustainable value for your organization. Having taken that, let's look at foundation of solid organizations. Organizations must have solid foundations to be solid themselves. We've been using the word build, and that's intentionally. Every building is expected to have a foundation. Of course, you must ensure the foundation is solid. And that requires the following: strong leadership. You must have leaders who inspire, who motivate, who guide the organization towards its objectives. It requires clear communication that is transparent, timely, and effectively engages stakeholders, builds trust, and fosters collaboration. Your foundation needs a collaborative culture, a culture that values teamwork, mutual respect, and open communication. Last in this session, the foundation of your organization should be adaptive and innovative. Adaptive, innovative. It should be such as would embrace change, enable people to learn from failures, and innovate so that you can stay ahead. And staying ahead is a means of being recognized and a pathway to high patronage. What are the modalities of building an organization? How are you to go about the above we have discussed so far? How are you to handle the building of your dream organization? There are many ways of going about it, but let's discuss a few with you. And then you can pick from this. Basically, we want to look at 4 ways of building an organization. 1, you may be in a position to start from scratch. There is no such organization as you have in mind, and you have to start from scratch. And if you are to start from scratch, then you may need a great entrepreneurial, innovative, and risk-taking attribute. You must have that quality. There are people we call pioneers. They are good at building. Get such people in your leadership team and get them properly motivated and educated. Maybe yours is not starting from the scratch. That takes us to number 2, scaling and growth. Sometimes building your organization would mean getting it to go beyond the level where it is at the moment. Your dream is level 5 and your organization is at level 2. And so you have to do scaling for growth. Then you need strategic planning. You need resource allocation. You need talent acquisition to grow it, to grow the organization from where it is. Maybe somebody started it and you are brought in to get to inject life and to lift it to the level desired. The third option or the third possibility, building your organization might mean mergers or acquisitions. Either you acquire another organization, you have one, and by way of expansion or enlargement, you acquire another organization. The same product, the same direction, the same focus. Or maybe different. You want to form a chain or a conglomerate. This requires valued sense of judgment, sound evaluation, and integration, ability to integrate, ability to merge, ability to get people from different organizations into a conglomerate or a chain of businesses. You need that attribute to be able to get to where you desire to get to. The fourth type of building is when you need a turnaround or transformation of an underperforming organization. The organization you are leading or the organization you are in is underperforming and you want a turnaround, you want a transformation. You may need crisis management acumen, change management ability, and renewal strategies and competencies to successfully revitalize your underperforming organization. We have said that organizations are a great means of pursuing and achieving objectives. They help to develop societies. But we have also said they reflect the builders. Therefore, work to change your personality so as to have the type of organization you are dreaming of. Did you pick anything new? Do you disagree with any thoughts expressed here? Do you want to add to this, to the thoughts here? Is there something you would like us to know? Please send them to the comment section or via our email on the screen. Thank you very much. But before you go, we wish to inform you that our international forum has commenced. And last month, we had the first quiz. Decide to be part of the next one. It's coming up in the month of May. For your information, we have quizzes 4 times in the year: February, May, August, and November. Remember, please, to like and share this video. Thanks. See you at the next session.